I'm a young woman, and I love going to the gym. It's my way of staying in shape and clearing my head. But lately, I've been feeling uneasy. I've been seeing a man at the gym who's been following me around. The first time I saw him, I was on the treadmill. I glanced in the mirror and saw him standing behind me, watching me. He was tall and thin, with dark hair and a goatee. He was wearing a black hoodie and black jeans. I turned around to look at him directly, but he quickly looked away. I thought maybe I had just imagined seeing him. But then I saw him again the next day, and the next day, and the next. He would always be there, watching me. I started to feel scared. I would try to avoid him, but he would always find me. One day, I was working out in the weight room when I felt him tap me on the shoulder. I turned around and saw him standing there. "Hi," he said. "I'm Steve." "I'm Sarah," I said. "It's nice to meet you, Sarah," he said. "I've seen you around the gym a lot." "Yeah," I said. "I come here almost every day." "I do, too," he said. "Maybe we could work out together sometime." I hesitated. I didn't want to work out with him, but I didn't want to be rude either. "Sure," I said. "Maybe sometime." He smiled. "Great," he said. "I'll see you around." He walked away, and I let out a sigh of relief. I was glad that I had agreed to work out with him, but I was also nervous. I didn't have to wait long for him to follow up on his offer. The next day, he asked me if I wanted to work out with him after work. I agreed, and we met at the gym. We worked out together for a few hours, and he seemed nice enough. He was easy to talk to, and we had a lot in common. But even though he seemed nice, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I kept catching him staring at me when I wasn't looking, and when we were talking, he would always get too close. I started to feel uncomfortable, but I didn't know how to get out of the situation. Finally, after a few weeks, I decided that I had enough. I told him that I didn't want to work out with him anymore. He was upset, but he agreed to respect my decision. I thought that would be the end of it, but it wasn't. He started following me around again. He would be waiting for me outside of the gym. He would follow me home from work. I started to feel scared. I didn't know what to do. One night, I was walking home from work when he jumped out from behind a bush and grabbed me. I screamed and tried to fight him off, but he was too strong. He dragged me into an alleyway and started to kiss me. I tried to push him away, but he wouldn't let go. I was so scared. I thought he was going to rape me. But then, I heard a noise. It was a group of people walking down the street. He let go of me and ran away. I collapsed on the ground, crying. I called the police and told them what had happened. They took my statement and said that they would investigate, but they never caught him. I'm still scared. I don't know what he's going to do next. I'm afraid to go to the gym. I'm afraid to walk home from work. I'm afraid to be alone. I'm a prisoner in my own home.
Next story.
I've always been a bit of a curvy girl. I'm not overweight, but I'm not skinny either. I've always been happy with my body the way it is, but there's always been that nagging voice in my head telling me that I could be better. One day, I saw an ad for a new gym in town called the Slimming Gym. It promised rapid weight loss, and I was intrigued. I had always wanted to lose a few pounds, But I had never been able to stick to a diet or exercise plan. I decided to give the slimming gym a try. I walked into the gym and was greeted by a receptionist. She was a tall, thin woman with long black hair and piercing blue eyes. "Hello," she said. "Can I help you?" "I'm interested in joining the gym," I said. "Great," she said. "Follow me." She led me to a small office in the back of the gym. Inside the office was a man sitting at a desk. He was bald and had a quite large scar on his left cheek. He was wearing a black suit and tie. "This is our manager," the receptionist said. "His name is Mr. Smith." "Hi," Mr. Smith said. "What can I do for you?" "I'm interested in signing up for a membership," I said. "Of course," Mr. Smith said. "We have a variety of memberships to choose from. What are your goals?" "I want to lose weight," I said. "How much weight do you want to lose?" Mr. Smith asked. "I don't know," I said. "Maybe 10 pounds. "That's easy," Mr. Smith said. "We can have you lose that weight in just a few weeks." I was skeptical, but I was also excited. "How do you do it?" I asked. "We have a special program that is designed to help people lose weight quickly and safely," Mr. Smith said. "It's a combination of diet and exercise." "I'm interested," I said. "Great," Mr. Smith said. "I'll sign you up for a membership." He handed me a contract to sign. I read it over quickly and then signed it. "Welcome to the Slimming Gym," Mr. Smith said. "I'm sure you'll be happy with your results." I left the gym feeling hopeful. I was finally going to lose the weight that I had always wanted to lose. I started working out at the gym every day. I followed the diet plan that Mr. Smith had given me, and within a few weeks, I started to see results. I was losing weight rapidly. I was so excited. I couldn't believe how quickly I was seeing results. But then, I started to notice something strange. I was getting weaker and weaker. I was also starting to feel tired all the time. I went back to see Mr. Smith and told him about how I was feeling. "It's perfectly normal," Mr. Smith said. "Your body is just adjusting to the new diet and exercise regimen." I wasn't so sure. I thought that something was wrong, but I kept going to the gym. I was determined to lose the weight. One day, I was working out on the treadmill when I collapsed. I woke up in the hospital. The doctor told me that I was suffering from severe malnutrition. He said that I needed to stop working out and start eating more. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that I had been so malnourished. I went back to see Mr. Smith and told him what the doctor had said. "That's impossible," Mr. Smith said. "Our diet plan is perfectly balanced." I knew that he was lying. I knew that his diet plan was responsible for my malnutrition. I left the gym and never went back. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. I started to have nightmares about the gym. I would dream that I was trapped inside and that Mr. Smith was chasing me. One night, I had a particularly bad nightmare. I dreamed that I was in the gym and that Mr. Smith had cornered me. He had a knife in his hand, and he was smiling at me. "You're not going anywhere," he said. "You're mine now." I woke up screaming. I knew that I had to get out of town. I packed my bags and left the next morning. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I just drove until I couldn't drive anymore. I ended up in a small town in the middle of nowhere. I checked into a motel and stayed there for a few days. I was trying to figure out what to do next. I couldn't go back to my old life. I knew that Mr. Smith would find me. I decided to stay in the small town. I got a job at a local diner and rented a small apartment. I was trying to start a new life, but I couldn't forget about Mr. Smith. He was always in the back of my mind. One day, I was walking home from work when I saw a black car following me. I started to run, but the car kept following me. I ran into an alleyway and hid behind a dumpster. The car pulled up and Mr. Smith got out. He walked into the alleyway and looked around. He saw me hiding behind the dumpster and smiled. "I found you," he said. I started to cry. I was so scared. "Don't worry," Mr. Smith said. "I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to take you back to the gym." "No," I said. "I'm not going back." "You have to," Mr. Smith said. "You're mine now." He reached for me, but I kicked him in the shin and ran. I ran out of the alleyway and into the street. I flagged down a passing car and jumped in. "Drive!" I shouted to the driver. The driver drove away and Mr. Smith was left behind. I knew that he wouldn't give up. He would keep looking for me. I was safe for now, but I knew that I couldn't stay in the small town forever. I had to find a way to defeat Mr. Smith once and for all. But how?
Next story.
Phil loved going to the gym and working out. He would go to the gym every day, even on weekends. One day, Phil was working out at the gym when he had a freak accident. He was lifting weights when the weight machine collapsed on him. Phil was killed instantly. Phil's death was a tragedy. He was only in his early 20s. He had his whole life ahead of him. Phil's funeral was a somber affair. His family and friends were devastated by his death. After Phil's funeral, his family and friends started to notice strange things happening at the gym. Phil's ghost had started to haunt the gym. People would see Phil's ghost walking around the gym. They would see him lifting weights and using the machines. Some people would even hear Phil's ghost talking to them. Phil's ghost was not a malevolent ghost. He did not want to hurt anyone. He was just lost and confused. He didn't understand why he was dead. One day, a young woman named Maya was working out at the gym when she saw Phil's ghost. Maya was not afraid of Phil's ghost. She felt sorry for him. She could tell that he was lost and confused. Maya started to talk to Phil's ghost. She would talk to him about her day and her problems. Phil's ghost seemed to enjoy talking to Maya. He would listen to her and offer her advice. Maya and Phil's ghost became friends. One day, Maya asked Phil's ghost why he was haunting the gym. Phil's ghost told Maya that he didn't know why he was haunting the gym. He just knew that he needed to be there. Maya told Phil's ghost that he needed to move on. She told him that he needed to leave the gym and go to the afterlife. Phil's ghost didn't want to leave the gym. He was afraid of the unknown. Maya told Phil's ghost that she would help him move on. She told him that she would help him find peace. Maya and Phil's ghost started to work together to help Phil move on. Maya did some research on the afterlife. She learned about different ways to help ghosts move on. Maya and Phil's ghost tried different methods to help him move on.
As a huge support, please hit like, subscribe, and maybe share your thought or any experience before going to watch another video. Thank you so much. Have a good day.